And there's the 15-point candle. Warning, warning. So this is why I said the 15-point candle is your first warning, because the ATR can't catch up yet. It's just not catching up to it yet. Now, that 15-point candle, this is something you really need to think about with your trade plan. For those who are new members, we haven't had 15-point candle land in a while. You may not have actually experienced those in our group yet. Maybe your trade plan is, I get one 15-minute candle, I'm out of here. Or I've got to wait till 2 new bounces happen. 15-point candles are not rational price action. So you had a 15-point candle down. That's your red alert, red alert. And what a battle here. Boy, I think I denoted the bull bear line really well here. You know, for some reason, we fly out of there, come back and bounce again. I'll go, okay, cool. Can we get up here and then do a bounce? All right, a little fair value gap back into the range here. Push to the bottom. Having a move up. Might be all the bears can muster there. All right, pushed all the way through that range. So now this is a long. Market is trading as if Friday didn't happen. That's a great observation. It's a normal day, isn't it? Just a normal slop and chop day after a large move. You know, after large moves, you know, price tends to have a slop and chop day. All right, so I'm long, as I said I would be. Well, I was hoping for a move to the Sunday opening, but so far it doesn't look like that's going to happen. So we said if we can get back up over this range, the retapping of that is probably a long. Realize we got big candles. It could come against you really hard. But when it leaves these string of fair value gaps here and all of that and gets back up over the range, you took that 75 long. Congratulations. Very nice. You're long. Congratulations. Who knew that was going to be the trade? I really thought we were going all the way down. Now, I don't think I need that in a negative position. Very nice. Maybe this will be a great move. Come on, keep going. All right, very nice. Very cool. You never know which trade is going to be the one that goes. You just map them out. You take them as you get them. You don't let any single trade hurt you. And if you get in the move that happens to go, well, you're looking pretty. So I took that 88 against this break level range, right? Never know. That could have been the thing that pushes it right back down. So maximize one of those. One trade like this a week and you're setting pretty. Could also take one off at 97. Just because I'm taking them off doesn't mean I can't add them back. Very nice, guys. Very nice. Nice job, guys. Nice job, traders. And let's capture half of that. Now it's waiting. You're back to waiting now. You know, I don't have anything I can be behind. I don't really have any structure. You know, I guess there's a backside here. You could say, you know what? I want to be behind the backside. Probably one of the best pieces of advice I gave. Like, you got to be careful here, because if it grabs this IB and ladders back up, you don't want to short that. We want to see it get over the strong range, retest the strong range, and go. And that's what happened. Very nice. So I would have your stop at 85, in my opinion, then. That would be a 20 pointer. That's a very nice freaking day. And then you're done. So yeah, go ahead and move your stop then to 85, capture your 20 pointer. And if you need, close down your platform and walk away. Don't manage it. You know, I took that profit at 88. I thought that was a really good place to do that. Okay, congratulations. Now you go journal. Journal how good that felt to wait for the setups and take the trade. Congratulations. Yeah, nice trade. It's a good day to feel good, and don't do anything to ruin that. You don't need more. You don't need another trade. Making money is good, but doing it right makes you feel even better. Oh, you can, I would certainly say, yes, you can add. So let's, under our scenario we talked about, so you went long here. If we popped above this, you can easily add to your trade. So yes, adding to a winning trade, I think, is a yes, Alex, because that puts you on the right, that teaches you exactly what you should be doing. Correct? I'm not going to restrict you from adding to your winning trade. That would not be good on my part. I want you to add to your winning trade. So for example, right now, let's say you are still long, and I'm very proud of you for capturing that 88. That was fantastic. Super, super fantastic. Now, if it pops this with a vengeance like it did here, this could be an add-on. Don't do it as another trade. I want you to stay disciplined in your number of entries. But you could always mentally trade it. You could switch to paper trading, maybe, but that can also lead to bad habits sometimes. Traders who can't say no to the chart one day will be forced to. Yes, you can ask another question, my friend. I got 3 contracts left. I need to make sure I got 3 orders in. So I originally had that order at 97 to get out. Did it get to 97? 1 tick shy. And look at that. We ran from IB low to IB high. I love those. I love those. And I'm going to use some of this discussion, Alex, in the wrap-up video. Are you okay with that? I am using a prop account. 1 contract I am gaining with the trade. I like to use a trailing take profit. Where would you put it? Well, what I want you to do eventually is to use structure and keep your stop 2 points behind a break level. The problem in this move, it was so rapid and fast, it was real difficult. There is no structure to be behind. Now we're kind of getting some structure, right? So at this point, I would be 2 points behind this low. Does that make sense? I wouldn't be. Now, the 1 contract does make it more challenging. I got it. Setting it 4 or 5 points below. I wouldn't. Yeah, don't do that anymore, my opinion. What we're looking for is we're looking for it to touch our level and go. Boy, that doesn't get more beautiful, right? And then once you get about, there's a certain distance where you can say, all right, I'm going to stay behind structure. So maybe you could have said this was going to be my little bit of structure on a 30-second chart. Not that you have but if you drop in time frames, that's going to be a break level. You could be behind this. And then you got this one here and you're behind that. Maybe you're getting a new break level here and you can be behind that by 2 points. So it's one of the nice things about having a plan that you can drop in time frames, because you can say, okay, where's the closest structure? Well, it's this. And now it's this. This is just testing that same break level, right? We draw it here at the body. And, now you might be getting a new one. Depends on how aggressive you want to be. Your stop would either be here or your stop would be here now. Another thing you could do, this is something we've talked about in the past. You can put an EMA on your chart. And actually, I was thinking about this as a video this weekend. Some people use a 9 EMA. You can use a 21 EMA. And until it closes under this line, you're still in the trade. That's another way you could do it. Right now, this is set to a 9 EMA. You could change this to a 21, which is going to swing it out a little bit more. I'm going to stay in this trade as long as we haven't closed underneath it. That's another way you could do your stop loss. Another way you could do your stop loss. I was really thinking about doing a video on this weekend. You could change this to Rinko bars. And as long as they're green, you're in the trade. But an EMA is an easy way to do that too. Especially if you don't have any structure. Like what could I possibly use? Well, you could probably use that. You could also come in here and say, well, at my entry, I'm going to throw on an anchored VWAP. As long as I'm above the anchored VWAP, I'm going to stay long. Do those ideas make sense to you? And also, of course, you want to know, where can price bounce back in front of my face? There's nothing wrong with taking maximum profit there. But if you're trying to stay in the trade for as long as you can, for as big of a move as you can, using these type of stop loss strategies makes more sense than just following behind 4 or 5 points. Yeah, structure is the most important. First of all, there's a 30-second break levels, right? That's going to form first. And then 1 minute, then 3 minutes, then 15 minutes, then 30 minutes, then hourlies, then dailies. Depending on the type of account you have, you can start being behind higher time frame structures. So initially, you might only have some 30-second levels, but as time develops, you'll have a 1 minute structure. Now let's look at this from a 3 minute. There's literally nothing. Maybe you could still use this, like, okay, 2 points behind that. And now if you look at the EMA, the structure, and the anchored VWAP, you kind of have 3 possible stop losses. None of them are wrong. I don't know what price is going to do, but I tend to like to be behind a bounce level because we're pretty good at where price is going to bounce, right? So if I can be behind a bounce level, I'd rather be behind a bounce level than an EMA. Now, an anchored VWAP is not a bad idea either. It's clean, clear, and crisp and obvious. Yeah, Scott, we said if we can fair value gap above this range, the retest of the range is a long. I actually had 5 contracts. I've already taken 2 off. So at a 9 EMA, I know you'd be out. You'd have been out right here. It closed underneath it. So you'd have been out at whatever price that is. What price is that? 93. I said, if we can get to the IB low, don't short if it goes back up. And then we got these fair value gapping candles out of range. That was the long. That was the trade. You can keep the anchored VWAP on there. Think about how good this level is here. You got an anchored VWAP from your entry plus a ladder point. Not a horrible place to take a profit. Now, the 9 EMA, you'd have gotten out sooner. But I can't tell you how many times I've seen a 9 EMA get you out, and then it just keeps running. But a 21 is a little bit better because it's a little wider. But structure is easier. Why? Because that's really our core strategy, is structure. So here it is coming into the break level. You know, I could add here. I say I'm going to add at 88, and I'm going to get it out at 85. So I just added. I'm against the break level at the ladder point. I got the anchored VWAP. And so I added back to my trade. And there's the bounce. All right, so this is Real Time George. This video is getting a little long, but I thought there was lots of great information to share. I am still long from my original entry here at 66.75 and will continue to stay long until it gets me out or I develop some higher time frame protection levels. Remember, tonight the battle plan is unlocked for everybody, and we will be live streaming tomorrow on YouTube if you'd like to join us live. Be on the lookout for the next set of entries that will be published tonight at microstrader.com under Battle Plan.